Hello everyone. So I'm doing something new now. First off, welcome back to my podcast slash now it's going to be a video cast because I wanted to start getting into YouTube, so I stopped doing the podcast, but it's really hard to just talk normally. Am I doing this right? It's really hard to just talk normally while on video. It's just not, it's not the same. So shit's been fucking crazy, right? I don't know if this is this the right, I don't know if this is. Now everybody gets to see the behind the scenes on this. Let's talk anxiety real quick. Emotions real quick, okay? I talk on this podcast about all of the shit that's going on in my life, and then hopefully it will resonate with some people. I'm just gonna grab the microphone because I'm just gonna sit back. Life has been fucking nuts, okay? My cords are all over the place. I've gone through 3 deaths in the last month. My friend Chris passed away at a very early age. He wasn't supposed to pass away, you know, but you never know when your time is. But it's just, I've never had a close friend like this pass away. I've known him for, I think, upwards of 15 years, probably 12 to 15 years, and shit's just crazy. He passed away, and then I had an uncle, he was somewhat of an uncle, passed away, and then my grandma just passed away a couple days ago. On top of being in South Florida, doing this travel nursing thing, but for those of you that know my podcast and have listened from the beginning, you guys know that I had a hard time being in South Florida. Hard time. This place, I think, kind of, it broke me. So I'm back here, and I'm technically only here until the end of October, and then I need to get the fuck out of here. I need to get the fuck out of here. Anxiety has hit an all-time high. I haven't felt this emotionally unstable in a long time. And it's just been a mixture. From the beginning, I feel like I've lived a full 3 lives every single month that I've been down here. I've been here for 3 months, almost 3 months, and each month has been a different life. The first month that I got to Florida, I'm back in this place that's it reminds me of all the old memories that I had with my ex and with friends and everything, and just being a very I was a different person a year and a half or however long it was that I left Florida. I was a different person. It was a year and a half ago. Different Jessica, different person. And now I came back and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna help out with COVID. I dealt with New York. I dealt with moving to a different part of the country. I was doing shit on my own. I'm independent. I am emotionally stable. I could go back to Florida. That'll be fine. No, it was not fine. Granted, I don't regret anything, and I'm very grateful to be down here, because had everything happened in this past month and I wasn't here, I would feel terrible and it would be that much harder. But shit is weird. It has been hard, and I know that a lot of people are going through hard stuff, and I'm so grateful that I even have a job. I'm grateful that I have a stable income during COVID. Not a lot of people have that. I have stability, and I'm very grateful for it. But everybody is fighting their own battles. Everybody is going through different things, and you can't really judge one person on what they're anxious about compared to the way or what you're anxious about. You just can't do that. You can't judge people for feeling the way that they feel. Everybody goes through different steps in their journey, and this has been by far, I think, one of the hardest months, but also the most exciting, was when I left Florida and I decided to move across the country. But this is also hard. coming back to Florida. The first month, I was happy. I was elated to be back. Grateful that, and I'm still so grateful for the area that I got. I got this place for 3 months. It's right on the water, right next to the beach, walking distance, perfect. Perfect place for me to come back and unwind from being in New York and dealing with COVID. I love being near the water. I love being near the beach. I grew up on the beach. And just having like the sunset, everything, the tropical feels again, palm trees, all that stuff. Perfect. I was here for my birthday. My birthday was probably the worst birthday that I've had. Like I was able, you know, I had a great dinner with some new girlfriends, which I met new people, and I'm so grateful for that. And they have been rocks for me. Like somebody to lean on and somebody to explain my feelings to, and they get it, and we like lean on each other, and they understand where I'm coming from. My birthday, the day before, we had a great dinner, and I was so happy to just be in these girls' presence because they're such special people. New and old friends. The day of my birthday, not the best, really. I spent it alone, but it was on a Wednesday. Everybody was kind of working and stuff, and I was planning on doing something for the weekend. So the day of, I was in my feelings. It was like rainy, I think, and it was just a lot of things hit me all at once. And I decided that I needed to get the fuck up and go to the tattoo shop because I said I was gonna get a tattoo, and I was going to extend my tattoo that I got when I was in Colorado. So I did a little bit of that, but that wasn't on my birthday. On my birthday, I went to this tattoo shop that is like literally walking distance from my place. It's right on the beach. I didn't think that a beach tattoo shop would be smart to go to, but it was really nice. And I got the word surrender on my arm because I needed to know, or I needed to remind myself that surrender is the word of my year, this year that I'm like going through right now. I needed to surrender to the fact of all of this shit happening. And what's crazy is the moment that I left the tattoo shop, my dad calls me and thinks that he's having a heart attack. It has been nuts, okay? My dad is going through, or he went through a divorce, and he's like, you know, this is the first time that he's been alone in almost 30 years. And me trying to be this like stable person for him and make him feel good and make him understand that it's not a mistake, and he's allowed to have these feelings of sadness and stuff. And he's kind of like, he was leaning on me a little bit, and I was taking all of that because I feel like I'm a fucking empath to a fault, because sometimes people will tell me their problems and I will suck it in. Like I will literally like absorb their feelings and forget it if I see an animal that's hurt. That just fucking ruins my day. But I had to go through that on my birthday, and I'm very happy that he is, you know, he spent the night at the hospital and everything is okay. Thankfully, he just needs to learn how to chill out too. I guess it runs in our family, anxiety, so, and stress. We don't really know how to handle it that well. So that was on my birthday. September wasn't the greatest month for me. I have to say, it wasn't the best. It was a little off-putting, okay? This was a hard couple months. And now, fast forward to October. We are on October, what, 18th, 19th? I don't even know what today's date is. The 19th? Hard, hard, hard. I don't know if it's the planetary alignments or if it's my fucking horoscope, whatever's going on with the planets and their positioning and whatever's going on with my ego and my brain and all that stuff. This is a test. This has been a test. This is a test for my sanity, for my ability to stay strong and just like motivated and dedicated to my purpose, because my ex that lives down the street that I have spoken, I just tried to do a hair flip and that didn't work. My ex that I have spoken about a lot on this podcast, that I've learned a lot from, and also prior exes that I also learned a lot from that relationship. Everybody's kind of resurfaced. my past ex that I just had, he's kind of always been like in the loop, but I thought I was done. I thought I was good. I thought I was solid. I got down to Florida. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm good. I can be in this area and I could be okay. I'm not gonna get sucked into that old life, those old feelings. I'm not gonna get sucked into the sadness and the emotions of him just being right down the street. I'm not gonna do it. I can date whoever I want. I can do whatever. And I ended up hurting some people along the way while I did this, because I thought that I was ready to start dating again, start doing stuff. I am not ready. Not because of my ex, just because I'm not ready to share my time with anybody. And I'm just not ready. And I hurt some people and I feel very bad for that. But it's just, you know, we're all on our own journey, and I hope that they understand that, and I hope that they understand where I'm coming from. And, you know, who wants to be with a person that's not emotionally available? I am not emotionally available. Literally, I never understood the concept of people saying that. Like, how are you not emotionally available? Like, how are your emotions unavailable? You always have your emotions inside of you. You can show your emotions whenever you want. False. You cannot do that at all. Like, at all. I am emotionally not available for anybody. I tried. And you know, like when you first start talking to somebody, you get like these like giddy feelings, and it's like, you know, the oxytocin and like everything running through your brain, and like the dopamine and whatever it is, and it's just everything was like, I'm ready to start dating again, going on dates, going on trips. Let's go do this, let's go do that. Let's get out of Fort Lauderdale. Let's go on a trip to the Keys, anything. I thought I was ready. I am not. I was unable, I keep picking up the microphone because I don't want to lean forward. I was not ready for somebody to start liking me and want me to possibly be their girlfriend. It scared the shit out of me. Scared the shit out of me, okay? I thought I was so emotionally unavailable to the point where I was like, you know what, I'm probably gonna be alone for a long time until I finish whatever it is, whatever self-makeover this is. I'm gonna be alone. I'm gonna be alone. Nobody can change my wanting to be alone. Like, it's gonna take a very special person to come into my life and make me wanna hang out with them more than I like hanging out with myself. This has been my mindset up until October. New York, and what was that? It was 3 months in New York and then 2 months here. The past 5 months, I've been independent. I have been a person, I've been a girl that's just really loving being by herself and enjoying the growth that I went through and everything. I've enjoyed it. Until my ex came back in the picture, okay? Until my friend passed away, and then I had the other passing, and then I had my grandma pass, who she was the only grandparent that I really was blood with and that I really knew. I lived with her, I was very close with her. When she passed, and my friend passing, and I didn't know how to, I deal with death a lot. I see people at their most vulnerable. I've dealt with death. I've bagged bodies, as morbid as it sounds, but death is a great teacher to teach you how to really take in everything in life and to really live a life that's meaningful. So I've dealt with death. I haven't dealt with death of a person that I'm very close with. That was young. And then a blood relative. This has all been a first for me. All while being in this place that all I want to do is contact my ex, because he was the person that knew these people. He was the person that, like, he was the one that I introduced my grandma to. Like, it's just, and he was like my vice, like the person that I needed to lean on. I was emotionally vulnerable. It happens. Okay, I opened the fucking can of worms. I opened that can of worms, and I should have not. It was bad. It was a bad idea. But again, I can't regret anything because it's all a learning experience. But when I tell you, if you're watching this video and not just listening to the podcast, I have cried a lot. Like, a lot. more than I want to admit. I don't look okay right now, I think. I mean, I'm fine, but I've cried a lot. It's been a lot of tears. Not even the past month, the past couple weeks. It has been so emotionally unstable, a fucking roller coaster. I'm super happy and excited about life and excited about the next steps in my life one day, and then it just wham hits me and I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck I want to do tomorrow. Even today, I'm like, I know I want to make a podcast. I know I want to do something. I want to make a video. I was so excited. I bought a camera. I bought fucking like things for the camera and like stands and a tripod, and like I bought stuff, and like I bought this like video editing software and stuff. I bought a new iPad so I could go and like edit on the go, because my laptop is just, it's a great laptop but it's not that great. And I just completely, my friend Pat and I went down a little rabbit hole of sad emotions, and I haven't been back yet. I can't pull myself out of the fucking emotion. I can't do it. I've tried. I went to the fucking store and bought like crystals and like incense and stuff like that. I got new plants. I bought myself flowers. I never buy myself flowers, ever. I never buy myself flowers. I buy myself like cactuses and shit and like succulents, and like I stole a spider plant out of the ground and I replanted it, and now it's growing really cool, new life. But I bought myself flowers to even make myself feel better. Watching them grow is beautiful. Is it making me feel completely 100% better? No, I don't know what to do. But somebody reached out to me on Instagram, and I've had girls before tell me that and even guys tell me that they've listened to my podcast and that it has helped them. And I remember when I first started this podcast, I was so excited because when I would get these messages, I know that I'm helping somebody. I know that the shit that I'm going through could possibly help somebody. So I am thinking to myself today, I'm like, why the fuck did I stop recording a podcast? Because I want to do YouTube? I could do both. Who says that I can't have both? And this, I remember being like, it's like me talking to a therapist. It's like when you know, they say like, I tried writing. Dude, when I say that I tried everything, I tried writing, I tried like just talking to myself. I tried recording things just on my phone just so I could like listen to them myself. I tried, you know, meditation and all this other stuff, and it does work and it does help. But this talking to a podcast and knowing that people, I could possibly help them, that's where it really felt good. And I don't know why I stopped. So this is where I'm coming to the conclusion. I'm not gonna make this a super long episode because first off, my camera's gonna go off when it hits the 25-minute mark. And I mean, I could still go on, but whatever. Let me see if I could get this through. Surrender. So I already put this word on my Instagram. And it was a couple days after my birthday, because I believe that that word means so much to me. I'm entangled in emotions and wires. Surrendering, I had to get it tattooed on myself for some reason, something. And it's crazy because even the day of my birthday when I went to go get that tattoo, the person who was doing my tattoo we got into such a deep conversation. It's just like the universe puts you in uncomfortable positions, but then it also puts you in amazing positions where if you just open yourself up and surrender to the moment and just let go, you can have an amazing conversation with some random human that's literally putting you through pain, inking you, but you don't even notice it because you're just so encompassed in this is encompassed? Does that make sense? You're just so tied into this conversation that you're having with somebody, and it felt great. And I got surrender on me because I needed to really, really take in this word. When we are going through shitty stuff, and I'm telling you this, like, when I say I've cried more times these past couple months or this past month than I have in like this full year, I have cried more times in this last month, and I just need to learn to be able to take a breath and surrender to whatever is happening right now, because it's happening for a reason. It is happening because you need to be taught something. There's a lesson to be learned with everything, and I needed to remember that. I was stuck, and I started like going into the slope of going out to the bars and stuff, and every time I was getting ready to go out, I know, like, why am I drinking? Because I know I'm gonna feel shitty tomorrow. Like, I know that I'm like, you can have a couple drinks here and there, but when I felt the pressure, and I was giving into that pressure of trying to be the person that Jessica once was when she was down in Florida. I always went out. I always, like, and seeing people that I once saw, I missed everybody. I wanted to see all my friends, but I gave into the pressure, and it's just like drinking more alcohol and like doing all this stuff. It's not good for me anymore. It's not good for me. And I need to really listen to myself, and I need to surrender to the fact that there's going to be shitty days, and you are going to feel crappy and just like, you're going to literally ask, like, what the fuck? I've said that word so much lately, like, what the fuck? Like, last night I was in bed. There's gonna be a little vulnerable moment, but I was in bed. I started breaking down, like, and it's been the past like 3 or 4 nights, breaking down, like, to a point where, like, it's like all of these emotions that have been stuck inside of me these past 5 months are flooding out. And it's like, I'm gonna start tearing up right now, but it's just like, and I started doing it again. I stopped crying, and then I started again, and I was like, I literally started laughing. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why? I understand that this needs to all come out, but like, am I just too emotional? Like, I'm not getting my period. Like, what's going on? What is going on? Why do I have so much like buildup of just this like sadness and energy? Like, what's going on? What do I need to learn from this? And I just had to let go and just surrender to it, dude. I had to surrender to it. I need to learn that when things are going on with my dad and he needs somebody to lean on, and now my whole family is just like in a fucking, it kicked up the dust with my grandma passing, and now I'm like going through this stuff, and like I went out the other night because I was having a hard day, and I went out to a place where it's American Social down here in Fort Lauderdale, but it's a place that like I have been to 1,000,001 times, and I used to go with my ex all the time. That's kind of like where we started hanging out at first, and then, you know, I'm having a great time. I'm with my friends. I'm having conversations with new people that I've never met before, and then wham, who walks in? My ex. Granted, I know I'm in Fort Lauderdale and it's a very popular place to be, but why did that have to happen? And did I hang out with him that night? Absolutely. I sure absolutely fucking did. And I don't regret it, but I also, my emotions probably regret it, because I have been kind of a wreck today and yesterday. I've been kind of out of it. I don't feel like myself. So this is me telling myself to just fucking surrender to whatever. You're gonna do what you're gonna do, and if it feels right in the moment, you're gonna do it. And you have to be okay with surrendering to the idea of just going with the flow and understanding that, hey, you did this and it happened for a reason. That's okay. My camera's gonna go out in like 40 seconds. But I restarted it. Hello, everyone. So that's what it is. I wanted to, this thing is heavy. I wanted to just say this because if anybody, obviously we're living in fucking unprecedented times right now. There is a lot going on in the world, and there's a lot of retrogrades happening with I don't know if any of you are into astrology, but there's a lot of things going on in the solar system that cause a lot of kick up of dust and a lot of kick up of emotions and like suppressed feelings that we've had, and it's just like kind of forcing us to address them. And this is what I've been going through. So if you guys are feeling that lately, it's okay. There's reasons as to why it's happening, and just take it for what it is. I need to remind myself, and I'm literally talking to myself right now, that no matter what happens, life can be fucking awesome and like the best time ever and just so enjoyable, and then life could also be a really like crappy, sad, melancholy, like just very just like dark time. It could be, you have to know what it is to deal with the dark in order to know what the light is. And right now I just feel like a lot of us are just going through a darkish time, but let's not think about it in a negative aspect. Let's think about it as we're probably going to have to go through this, but it's happening for a reason. And no matter what you're going through, if it's with like a job or with like a past relationship or with friendships or anything, any type of like, if you feel the need to like move somewhere, I'm in the midst of just confusion. I feel like there's just confusion. I don't know where to direct my energy to. I don't know where to direct my heart and my mind to. And I literally just feel like I need to flee. Like I need to get out of here. And like, I'm kind of excited to get out of here because I started hanging out with my ex again, and I felt like I wanted to be back with him, that I wanted to be back in this like old life that I had. And then it's like, it just hits me back in the face, because reality is there's a lot of history behind there, and there's a lot of stuff that like he doesn't feel like it would be a good idea, and I know that it's not a good idea, and I let my emotions get to me. And if you're going through this or something with like a breakup, just understand, if there's, I feel like all of the friends that I've spoken to, there's a lot of kickback of like old relationships coming back into like their life. And anytime that they like see this person, you have this connection with this person, it's so hard to let it go. It's so hard, and I completely understand that. But you gotta just trust yourself. Trust yourself that you know what you need to do. You know that you need to continue on the path that feels right for your heart. And sometimes your heart can fucking confuse you. Your mind and your heart don't always get along. They don't always talk and communicate, okay? Good relationships are a part of, you know, it's a good relationship needs good communication, and my head and my heart are not in a good relationship right now. And they need to get on fucking track, okay? You guys need to start the circle of communication. Play some telephone, and just, I feel like I'm playing telephone. Like I'm thinking about what is my head saying, and then I'm trying to interpret it, and then my heart is saying something and I'm trying to interpret it, and I'm like, hey, well my heart wants this, but then my brain is like, no, you don't want that. It's just a fight between your ego and your higher self, and it's just like, my ego is like not wanting this like old life and this old person to go away, because I don't think I'm gonna find this in somebody else. But it's also like my higher self is like, listen, you have so much to do and your purpose is somewhere else, and you need to put your focus on this. And it's just such a fucking weird time. My voice is cracking. That's how weird it is. It's like I'm going through an emotional puberty. That's what it is. So surrender, okay? Understand that you are going to have days when you're going to cry, when you're going to feel like you are literally not in the right place, and you're going to feel uncomfortable in your house or wherever you're staying. You're going to feel uncomfortable in your area that you're living. You're going to feel uncomfortable in your body and your mind, and just sitting with yourself alone. You're going to have days where you're going to feel uncomfortable. And I literally force myself to go through this, because I know that if I just go hang out with friends when I know that I need to be alone and really process this shit, all I'm going to do is just, I'm going to tuck it under the rug. I'm going to tuck all those emotions under the rug. I'm going to tell my friends what I think they want to hear, oh no, I'm fine, I'm going through an emotional time right now, I'm gonna get through it. It's hard for us to show vulnerability sometimes. And sometimes it's so good to have a support system that's like open-minded and not judgmental, because the friends that I have don't judge, and they're very like, you know, they want to pull these emotions out and like work on them. And it's such a great thing. It's just me, I don't know if it's because I'm a fucking Virgo or what, but like I literally am just, I don't like being a burden to people. I don't like complaining to anybody. I like to have my, you know, my demons, I like to take them out to dinner with myself. And like, I like confronting my demons alone, because I don't want to put my demons on anybody else. I'll fight other people's demons, but I don't like to fight my own with people around me. So that's what therapists are for. And I need to get back into the therapy, because this is a lot. So this is like therapy though. I feel a sense of calm coming over me. So surrender, okay? Surrender to whatever is going on in your life, the hardships, and like just understand that you're gonna go through the trials and the tribulations of life, the ebbs and the flows of life, and you need to go through them. And I feel like this year has been a lot of ebbs and flows, a lot of ebbs and flows. It's been a lot of ups and downs, and just like, listen, your girl feels it, okay? Because I've never dealt with this much close death in my life, and just the feeling of knowing that somebody is no longer there to talk to them, I don't even know how to process it, because I've dealt with it so much. But this has just been a lot, and it's like trying to process your emotions. You just got to surrender to them. You got to surrender to whatever you're feeling, and understand that the emotion that you have when you're going through shitty times, it's not going to be there forever. You're not going to be stuck in this emotion forever. It's not going to happen. You're going to get out of it. You're going to see brighter days. Literally, it's shitty outside right now. It's raining. It's been nasty. Tomorrow, I hope it's sunny. If not, if next week it gets sunny, but there's going to be another sunny day. There's going to be a day when it's just like you're stuck inside and you just feel like, what the fuck? And you're just melancholy. You're just like, I didn't know. Literally, right before I started recording this, I didn't know what to do with my time. I was like, I have so much stuff to do, and I can't put focus on anything because I'm just so stuck. I feel stuck right now. And like, if you've listened to this podcast, you know the feeling that I'm talking about, that I've had before. And I know that you guys know the feeling, because I feel like everybody feels stuck at some point. At some point in some aspect of their life, there's a feeling of stuckness, if that's even a word. Stuck. You just feel fucking stuck. You feel like you don't know what to do. What's the next step? What am I supposed to, if I take this step, is it gonna be wrong? Am I gonna fall down the fucking staircase again? If I take this step, is it going up the wrong staircase? Where do I need to go? What do I need to do? I don't pray that much, and I have prayed, because I'm not a very religious person, but I do believe that you have guides and angels and like spirit guides and stuff. I've prayed to them a lot lately, because I just prayed to them asking for something. Give me a sign on what I need to do, where I need to go, and like to disconnect me from this fucking attachment that I have with my ex, because it's driving me nuts. It's such just a positive time when we're together, and then afterwards I feel just a sense of sadness, because I know that it's not right now, and I need to surrender to that feeling and understand that, you know what, you don't know what's going to happen in the future, but right now you know what you need to do, and you know that you need to just give in to the feeling of just being sad and go through it, and let your mind sit back and just watch the feelings. Don't get entangled in them, because when you get entangled, then you start crying nonstop, and that happens a lot. Sometimes you need to cry. You need to let it out, and that's okay. But just surrender. Just like, it's not even a religious word. It's not like a spiritual word. It's just a word that means just to go with the flow. Let the flow of life happen. obviously don't just sit back and do nothing. You have to like continue with your life, and you have to move forward and do things to bring you up in the next chapter or the next steps in your chapter. But just if something bad happens, if you're going through a hard time, if shit with your family or an ex resurfaces, or even if there is a death, and it's a sad time, trust me, because I've never gone through this much death this close of people in my life. But I have to just surrender that it's going to get better, and like just remember the good times, and know that they are in a far better place, and that you will see them again. Because I feel like everybody that we meet, we're going to see in a different life. It's just you guys, your soul's connected for a reason. So my battery's gonna die on this. I love you guys. I hope you have enjoyed this, and I will start doing these more because I feel much better now. I hope you have a beautiful start to your week. Sorry I look like I've been crying all day, because I have. So thank you for watching and listening, and I love you guys. Be positive, take care of yourselves, be kind to yourself, and I will see you and talk to you on the next one.